Hey guys, welcome back to Fantasy Tipped. Julian here for another waiver wire episode, this one for week 23. And if you're watching this, you probably won your matchup in week 22 to take you now to week 23 for your semifinals of your fantasy hockey championship. If so, give yourself a little pat on the back, guys. And if you're somebody who's playing their first week of the playoffs or even fantasy finals this week, give yourself a pat on the back for making the playoffs or reaching your finals as well, guys. If you're watching this video, you're doing well, and you definitely have a good chance of taking home your fantasy hockey trophy, and I'm going to be doing everything I can to help you do that. Before we jump into it, guys, drop a like and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And let's just jump right into the content, and let's take a look at the schedule for week 23. On Monday, March 24th, there are 4 games: Tuesday 10, Wednesday 4, Thursday 10, Friday 6, Saturday 11, and Sunday 8. So the off nights officially are Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, with Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday being a little bit busier. But none of those nights are all that busy, so check your lineup. In my case, in most of my leagues, I am pretty full on those nights, but you may not be. So you may not have to focus on adding only off-night players. But again, it really depends on your schedule. So go ahead and check that. What teams have a good schedule? Well, there are 12 teams that play 4 games: Buffalo, Dallas, Detroit, Los Angeles, Minnesota, Montreal, New Jersey, New York Islanders, Ottawa, Toronto, Utah, and Vancouver. And then there are some teams that also have some good off-night schedules. Notably, the New Jersey Devils, the Vancouver Canucks. They play Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, and then Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, respectively. And then I like the Dallas Stars and New York Islanders schedules pretty well as well, because they both play Monday and Wednesday to start the week. Dallas actually plays Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, so 3 games in the first 4 games of the week is pretty nice. And then Utah, Anaheim, Chicago, and Columbus all have 2 games this week that are off nights. And some other schedules that I like a little bit, I don't have it listed here, but Minnesota and Detroit both play Monday and Tuesday. So if you have room on Tuesday on the busier night, adding someone to play Monday and Tuesday really isn't that bad. And Minnesota has 4 games total this week, as well as 4 games total next week, which is making them a pretty valuable add. In terms of bad schedule, it's really just Boston and Florida. They only play 2 games apiece, Wednesday and Saturday, and Friday and Sunday. Florida really isn't that bad because they're more off nights towards the end of the week, but I wouldn't be adding any Florida Panther until Friday's games. Then you can get Friday and Sunday, which isn't bad. As far as forwards go, guys, Brock Besser, what a turnaround 1 week makes, guys. He has been absolutely phenomenal. He's back to scoring goals, and the main reason is that he was put on the top line with Elias Pettersson, who's also finally super hot right now. He's there on the top line. He's on the top power play. He's scoring goals. He's shooting the puck. And Vancouver has Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday off nights. Sign me up for that. He is a priority add right now. Juraj Slafkovsky of the Montreal Canadiens is playing top line and top power play in Montreal, and he has been putting up some amazing peripherals with hits and shots in Montreal, and I like to see it. Lots of points as well. Valeri Nichushkin playing top 6, as well as top power play in Colorado. And he's the type of guy who can go off for 3 or 4 points in a night easily. And with that kind of upside, I'm shocked he's not more owned in more leagues. Dylan Holloway, top 6, top power play in St. Louis, is absolutely going off right now. He's someone that I really like, even though St. Louis doesn't have 4 games or any off nights really this week. Dylan Holloway is somebody that can put up some solid points in the 3 games that he plays this week. Same with Alexi Protas, only 3 games this week, but Washington and Protas have been really, really hot. He's plays in the top 6 and just constantly, consistently puts up points. Then I got Matt Zuccarello. I know he hasn't been the hottest right now, but he's someone who gets top line deployment, top power play deployment. Minnesota has 4 games this week, including Monday and Tuesday this week. And then they also have 4 games next week, and all 4 of those games next week are off nights. They play Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, making Zuccarello's schedule super valuable, and he definitely can put up some fantasy points. He's the best player on that team right now with all the injuries they have, other than Matt Boldy. Dylan Cousins of the Ottawa Senators, still super hot. Ever since being traded to Ottawa, he's been fantastic, putting up lots of points, decent peripherals. I really like him. Pavel Dorofeyev is just coming off a hat trick in Vegas. He's shooting the puck a heck of a lot, and he's also on the top power play. So he's getting some great deployment, And when he's hot like this, you need to own him. JJ Peterka of the Buffalo Sabres. They play 4 games this week, and he just came back from his injury, playing top line and top power play now. Had 6 shots and scored a goal, if I'm not mistaken. So he's somebody that when he's hot, you need to own him. Braden Shen, top 6, some solid deployment right now. He's pretty hot. I like him a lot too. Connor Garland of the Vancouver Canucks, playing only on the 4th line, however, top power play deployment. And the 4th line isn't that bad with a guy like Dakota Joshua on it either. So definitely should put up some decent shot numbers and could put up some points on the power play as well. Another guy that you could look at in Vancouver is a guy like Jake DeBrusk, because he's also getting top 6 deployment and top power play deployment. Vancouver just has such a great schedule this week. Mason Marchment is playing on the 2nd line with Duchesne and Granlund, as well as the 2nd power play in Dallas. I believe he's on a 4-game point streak right now. And even though he's not putting up like multi-point games, that's not bad for a team that plays Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday to start the week. Mackie Samoskevich doesn't have the best schedule this week. Like I said, Florida only plays 2 games, but if you add him only on the Friday to get that Friday and Sunday games, that's not a bad option. I wouldn't add him before that just because he'll be sitting on your bench and he'll be kind of a waste of a roster spot. But if you do only add him for those Friday and Sunday games, I don't mind it. And then Florida has a pretty decent schedule next week as well. JG Pajdo of the New York Islanders, he wants those Monday and Wednesday games. He's playing 2nd line, 2nd power play, and hasn't been too bad as of late. Ryan Hartman has been fantastic as of late, putting up lots of points, some solid face-off wins, some decent shot totals. He's been really good, and he's been getting some top power play deployment as well with all the injuries in Minnesota. I don't mind him as long as he's hot, and like I said, Minnesota has a great schedule this week and next week. Dawson Mercer of the New Jersey Devils is actually playing on the 2nd line right now with Jesper Bratt. He's also playing on the top power play. I know he hasn't been showing it that much with his point totals, but the deployment's good. And if you need someone for those off nights that New Jersey has, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, that's not a bad option. Pius Suter of the Vancouver Canucks is playing on their 2nd line with Jake DeBrusk, and he's actually doing pretty decent as of late, putting up a decent amount of points, and he's available in 98% of leagues. I like that ad quite a bit. Simon Holmstrom, top line and top power play, available in 99% of leagues, and he plays Monday and Wednesday off nights. I am shocked he's available in so many leagues. He's also on a 3-game goal streak right now. Yes, he could absolutely fade away and not do a lot during, that Monday and Wednesday off nights. It's possible, but he is hot right now. The deployment is good. You might as well take a shot on him, especially if you're in a deep league. Cody Glass of the New Jersey Devils is playing as a 3rd-line center. Now, he's not somebody I'm overly high on, but if you're desperate in a deep league for somebody for those off nights, Glass hasn't been too bad point production-wise. And finally, Nils Höglander, somebody that I like quite a bit, playing on the top line with Elias Pettersson and Brock Besser. Like I mentioned, those guys are insanely hot right now, so Höglander has been reaping the benefits. Go check his game log. He's been scoring quite a bit of points as of late, and he's somebody that's available in 99% of leagues and plays on those awesome off nights that Vancouver has Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. For our defense, Darnell Nurse, super safe floor every single night and some points to go along with it. Drew Doughty, top power play in LA, a little bit safer floor as of late. Shane Gostisbehere, top power play, Carolina, not the safest floor, so you're really relying on points for him. Justin Falk, decently safe floor, top power play deployment as of late, and putting up plenty of points. He was awful earlier in the season, but he's finally turned it around. Jared Spurgeon, Jake Middleton, both 27% owned on Minnesota. They're a bit different. Spurgeon puts up a little bit more points and less peripherals. Middleton, less points, more peripherals, but both are decently safe floors. And for Minnesota, they play 4 games this week, 4 games next week. Pretty awesome ad if you need a defenseman, and you're going to get a safe floor just for 8 games, and it's really not a bad option. Cam Fowler of the St. Louis Blues has also been getting a decent amount of power play time in St. Louis, but he is a lot riskier of an ad. He does not put up very many peripherals at all, so if he's not putting up an assist for you, he's not really doing much for you. Luckily, lately, he has put up quite a bit of assists, so I'm not too worried about him, but still, just be wary of that. Luke Schenn has been absolutely phenomenal since being added to Winnipeg at the deadline. He's been hitting like an absolute freight train. 5 to 8 hits per game is not unexpected, putting up some decent block shots totals as well, and even put up an assist the other night. He's somebody that I like a lot, and it's a very, very safe floor with Luke Schenn. Artem Levchinov of Chicago Blackhawks, top power play over there, has put up a couple of assists. I don't hate that. Liam Bichelle, really, really great hits total. 7 hits the other night. Really safe floor there because of that. And again, Dallas, Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. You get 3 games to start off the week, and then you can drop them after that if you want. Jonas Brodin of the Minnesota Wild should be coming back either the day I'm recording this or Monday for the week that I'm talking about, and he should get 4 games, and he usually gives a pretty safe floor. So if you're in a super deep league, a safe floor isn't too bad of an option for Jonas Brodin. Jumping into goalies, I know I don't usually include goalies over 70% rostered, but Demko was dropped in quite a bit of leagues, and it looks like he could be coming back this week. Him and Lankinen could split if Demko does come back. For example, Lankinen could start Monday and Friday, and then Demko could start Wednesday and Sunday, or vice versa. Either way, they're starting games on off nights, and that could be a really handy add in a points-based league. Samuel Montembeault has been phenomenal for Montreal. Montreal's been the hottest team since the Four Nations break, so I mean, lots of wins to go around there. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, or as I like to call him, 6K for the Buffalo Sabres, is going to play 3 games this week. Buffalo plays a total of 4. One of them's a back-to-back set. If you need 3 games from a goalie in a points league, Luukkonen's not the worst option. Frederik Andersen, playing every second game for Carolina, splitting with Kochetkov. He's been really, really good, allowing 2 or less goals in almost all of his starts and getting lots of wins. Really, really great ad, especially in a categories league right now. Lucas Dostal, John Gibson, splitting starts, 50-50. I assume that's what's going to happen now that Gibson's back. If that's good enough for you, it's not a bad ad. Ilya Samsonov, not someone I was high on last week because he only was going to get 1 start. This week, he could get 2 starts. If they do alternate the starts like they usually do, Samsonov could get the first and last start of the week. Vegas only plays 3 games. That means Adin Hill would actually only get 1 start, and Samsonov would get 2. It's not a guaranteed thing that he's going to get 2, but it is a possibility, and if you're super desperate for goalie games, it's not the worst option. Karel Vejmelka, someone I love in Utah. He is the starting goalie. Ingram is in the player assistance program, so there's not really anybody else they can be starting. And even though he struggles sometimes, Utah is fighting for a playoff spot. So they are going to keep fighting, and they are going to try their absolute hardest to win every single game, which is great. And Vejmelka should get quite a few wins. Elvis Merzlikins. Columbus is also fighting for their lives in the playoffs, although they have been kind of tanking as of late, losing quite a bit of games, falling out of the playoffs. They need to start winning. Merzlikins is their guy and should start the majority of the Columbus Blue Jackets games. Tristan Jarry started a bunch of games in a row, played pretty well, did choke 1 game, and then they started Nedeljkovic the next game. A little bit disrespectful for Jarry considering how good he had been. But anyway, I think Jarry still is the guy going forward and should get the majority of the Penguins starts. Spencer Knight of the Chicago Blackhawks is their starting goalie and is getting almost every start now. They seem to trust him. And other than the back-to-back sets, Spencer Knight should be starting almost every game for Chicago. Samuel Ersson of the Philadelphia Flyers is the starting goalie in Philadelphia, although he is starting to lose a little bit of confidence, I think, in Philly. They're starting to start Fedotov a little bit more, but if you are desperate for a starter, Ersson still should be getting most of the games in Philly. And then Peter Mrazek has started, I think, 4 games in a row for Detroit at this point. Played really, really well, even got a shutout. The last game didn't play that amazing, but to start the week, Detroit does have a back-to-back set. Mrazek will get one of those starts for sure, and if he does play better than whoever gets the other start, he should get the rest of the starts for Detroit this week as well. So I don't hate Mrazek as a... And that's it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, drop a like and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Very, very good luck in your matchups this week, guys. I hope you make it to the fantasy finals, and I'll catch you in the next episode of Fantasy Tipped.